Vriende, ons tema vanoggend is in die trein van verlossing. En julle ken my, ek is lief vir 'n storie. Ek gaan nie vanoggend vir jou 'n storie vertel nie, sit terug, ontspan, gaan vir jou 'n kort videoetjie wys. Dan sal ons voortgaan om te sien wat sê die woord van die Here vir ons.
I'm here tonight to tell you about a father who loved his son and a son who loved his dad. The way this story is going to unfold for you, it's a little bit different because I want to bring it to now. You see, a dad would go home and he would go by the school, and every now and then he would pick up his son and say, "Son, why don't you go to work with me?" The boy loved that. And when his dad would just come and pick him up, he was the happiest boy ever. He knew that he would get to spend the afternoon with his father at work, and he would get his coat and they would walk, and he would bring hot chocolate for his son for it's really cold, and they would go through. But this boy was different. This boy would see things. This boy wasn't normal. And when they were walking one afternoon going to where dad worked, this boy would notice things that other people wouldn't notice. He see things other people wouldn't see. He sees a man in a bathrobe in the middle of the street who's yelling at a second-story window. He sees a woman who's very angry at him and doesn't really want to hear what he says. This boy, as the rest of the world hustles by, he slows down. He sees the hurt and the pain. He sees the anguish and the sorrow. He sees the window close and a desperate man trying to get it. What he did doesn't matter. That he hurting is all that matters. And this boy would see these things. His father rushes and gets him by the hand and says, "Let's go, we'll be late." He would stop and look one more time. Can I stop his pain? Can I stop her hurt? But the boy loved his father. They would go and they would catch the trolley. I think that's what you call it here. We call it a tram. Yeah, I don't know the words, but he would get on there with his dad, and the boy would just notice people. He would look, and that day, one particular, he noticed something as he got on the train. To explain something, as you can hear, there's a train coming, and I got to get through this before the train gets here. He saw a man, he saw a woman. He saw that the man seemed very happy and the woman seemed very sad, and he couldn't understand why they could be together and one be happy and the other be sad. He couldn't understand that, but the little boy knew that there was something wrong. He had this feeling, this instinct that was amazing, how he cared for other people, but he loved none other than his father. He knew his daddy loved him, and as he watched the world and their hurt and their pain, he knew that he would always have a father. But even notice this, I need you to understand as you hear this story and get involved in the life of this man and his son, I need you to notice that there's no mom. As they walked through the woods, the boy would say to his father, "Dad, what will I do when I grow up? What will I get to do? Will I get a cool job like yours? How will I work?" He says, "I don't know, but I want to change the world. I want to do something great. I want to do something wonderful. I want to help people. I want to do something that could change the lives of anyone. I just want to be that great. I just want to do something good." And as he walked with his dad would say, "Son, you will be great. You will be awesome. You will change the world. Your life is going to be incredible." There was a train coming. There's always a train coming. The train is called life. We're all on the train of life, just riding. Whether we realize the truth or not, whether we realize what's happening or not, we're all on that same train tonight. Only God has saw it fit for us to be in the same room, in the same car, for such a time as this. When they get to the edge of the train track, he could see where his father worked. You see the bridge? That's what his dad did. You see, the bridge was very, very important. Boats needed to come to the harbor to get off their goods so they could make money. But trains were coming with people going from one town to the next. Not many cars in Europe, so they couldn't use a lot of that. So many people, not enough roads, so everybody used that train to get from the town to town to get to work and to get home. And one day the train was coming by. What you have to understand is that boy loved going to work with his dad. He would stay right by the river's edge, and he would do what he loved to do the most. Let me explain that. He loved to fish. Anybody like to fish here? Oh, all the guys go, The dad looks at his boy and he says, son, now remember the rules. You got to stay right here because I can see you from the window right here. Don't get out of the sight of this window because you got to stay there so I know you're safe. Catch you something good to eat. But as you can hear, the train's coming. The father's job was cool. If I wasn't a preacher, I wouldn't mind doing that. Get to work. Get grease on you. Even if you didn't have to, you just squirt it on you like you feel like you did something. That's what I would do. There was a boat coming in the harbor. Timing is very essential. I'll go ahead and give you the key. The key is this. There's always a light. Everybody say light. Say it again. One more time. There's a light that the train conductor needs to see. If that light is green, he can go. If it's red, he must stop. You see, God has given us road signs in our life that we must read. Lines that tell us to go and lines that tell us to stop. Whether we read those and believe them or not is up to us. That's why some of you have fallen and you cannot get up. But tonight, that's why I'm here. The boat needed to come through, so he called, and the man said, okay, I got time. It's a long time before the train should come. So he pulls the lever, as you just saw, and the big, huge steel bridge, the gears started turning. They started cranking the steam. All of a sudden, gears are moving, and that big, huge bridge is just starting to go up. As it rises higher and higher, he has to watch and make sure everything's set, everything's good, everything's fine. As he looks out the window, he could see everything, but the dad, being a good dad, keeps one eye on his work, but the other eye on his baby. One eye on the world, but the other eye on his children. You think God doesn't know where you are? He keeps one eye on his world and one eye on his child. No matter what you've done or where you've been, it's one eye on the world, but the other eye's on you. He's watched you and he's kept you. Even though your train is coming down the track, he understands that. And even though sometimes, I don't want to get ahead of myself. See the red light? He didn't see it. So many times we don't see the red light. See, to just say the train was early. The boy can hear and see the steam. And he looks and says, Daddy, the train. Daddy, the train's early. Daddy, you got a daddy. Hey, Daddy, the train. Daddy, the train's coming. But the dad was looking at the gears, making sure he had enough oil, making sure there was enough steam to get the bridge back down for the train. And the boy knew one thing. Now listen, the boy knew that his dad one time showed him where the trigger was. It was a red lever. If he pulls it, the train bridge would collapse down fast and the train would be able to come across. All the boy knew was there were people on that train. There were people that needed to be saved. There were people that had, some of them just with their friends having a good time, like everything's fine. They did not know that the bridge was up. They did not know what was coming. They're just living their life like you and me, just going down the road, just being our own thing, doing our own thing. And the dad all of a sudden hears the train coming. He looks and then he says, oh, my son. He looks out and his boy's gone. He's like, oh my God, where's my son? Where's my son? He got to figure out. He looks back just in time to see his son trying to save the day. All he had to do was pull that lever. He reaches in to pull it, and the boy pulls too far, and he falls in the hole. Now it's on the father, and God the Father, did you hear me? God the Father has to make a choice. It's his now. Do I save my son, or do I save the world? But they don't even know. They don't even know. The greatest decision of his life. He can blame it on them not seeing the red light. He can blame it doesn't matter anymore. Pull the lever, save the world. Leave it up, save your son. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Whosoever believes in him will not perish. 3, 2, 1. Go. And they didn't even know. They never would know I didn't even know the train goes by. It's fine. Everything's cool. The bridge is down, just like always. It's always going to be down. Are you hearing me tonight? He gave his only son. For God so loved the world that he gave. And you know what's amazing? I wonder what God did right when his son died on that cross. When he breathed his last breath, when he took that breath and he breathed and it was over. Here's what the Father would have looked like.
Pa het sy seun gegee en hulle weet nie eers hy's dood nie. Hulle gaan aan met hulle lewens asof daar niks gebeur het nie. Maar sy seun is dood. Daar was niks fout van hulle nie. Maar vanoggend wil ek met jou deel oor 'n ander pa wat sy seun ook dood is. Ook dood was op 'n dag, sodat ek en jy rustig in die trein van die lewe kan voortgaan en doen wat ons elke dag doen. Hierdie pa se seun is dood aan 'n kruis, 'n houtkruis. En ek wonder altyd, wat het hy beleef daardie oomblik? Wat was sy emosie toe sy seun dood is? Maar wat het die seun ook beleef? En ek wil graag met jou hierdie volgende skrif deel, wat dit vir ons baie mooi uiteensit. Matteus 27 vanaf vers 45. Van 12 uur af het dit oor die hele land donker geword, tot 3 uur die middag. Teen 3 uur het Jesus baie hard uitgeskree, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, wat beteken, my God, waarom het U my verlaat? Party van die omstanders het dit misverstaan en gedink hy roep na die profeet Elia. Een van hulle het gehardloop, toe gou vat 'n spons, maak dit vol suurwyn en steek dit op 'n punt van 'n riet om hom te laat drink. Die ander het egter gesê, los hom, kom ons kyk of Elia hom kan red. Maar Jesus het weer baie hard uitgeroep en die laaste asem uitgeblaas. Op daardie oomblik het die swaar gordyn in die tempel in 2 geskeur, van bo tot onder. Die aarde het gebewe en die rotse het uitmekaar gebars. Selfs die grafte het oopgegaan en God het die liggame van baie gelowiges wat reeds dood was, weer lewendig gemaak. Hulle het uit die grafte opgegaan en na Jesus se opstanding het hulle die heilige stad Jerusalem binne gegaan en aan baie mense verskyn. Die Romeinse offisier het oor 100 het die ander soldate wat Jesus bewaak het beangs geword toe hulle die aardbewing en die ander gebeurtenis sien en hulle het gesê, die man was werklik die seun van God. Kom ons kyk wat het hier gebeur. Kom ons kyk in hierdie eerste 2 verse, wat het plaasgevind? En as ons 'n bietjie teruggaan in geskiedenis, die koms van Jesus Christus en sy oorwinning, sou niemand keer nie. En dit was al van Genesis af vir ons gesê. Hy sal die vyand se kop vermorsel. Maar hy was altyd op pad vir my en vir jou na 'n kruis toe. En die mooiste van alles is, toe dit kom by die profeet Jesaja 53, toe word hierdie oomblik vir ons ook weer beskryf. En hoor wat skryf Jesaja. Oor ons oortredinge is hy deurboor, oor ons sondes is hy verbrysel. Die straf wat vir ons vrede moet bring, was op hom. Deur sy wonde het daar vir ons genesing gekom. Die kruisdood was voorspel. Goeie Vrydag of Paasvrydag sal gebeur. Maak nie saak wat nie, want God het besluit. En kom ons kyk 'n bietjie nou na hierdie teksvers van ons en die skrif. En die eerste ding wat daar gepraat word, wat Matteus skryf, is duisternis. Nou ja, daar's ongelukkig mense wat glo dat dit was nie regtig duisternis nie. Of miskien 'n sonsverduistering, maan voor die son in. As jy 'n bietjie huiswerk gaan doen, gaan jy sien 'n sonsverduistering is 7,5 minute. Ons praat hierso van 3 ure wat daar verduistering was. Ander mense het weer die manier om te sê, miskien was dit bietjie bewolk. Miskien was dit nie regtig duisternis nie. En as jy die woord duisternis vat in die Grieks, dan gaan jy sien dit sê skotos. En as ek hierdie woord vat en ek gaan kyk na Judas 1 vers 13, dan praat daar so van donkerheid van duisternis. Baie duidelik. Dit beteken pikdonker nag. Mense wil dit afwater. Dan is daar mense wat sê, miskien was dit net 'n gedeelte van die aarde, wat miskien 'n bietjie donkerte ervaar het. En dan kan jy maar gaan lees in Markus 15 vers 33. Die hele aarde was in donkerte. Daar is selfs geskiedkundiges wat sekulêre geskiedkundigheid opgeteken het en gepraat het van 'n 3 ure duisternis op die aarde met 'n aardbewing. So daar is ook buitebybelse bewyse, dit het gebeur. Maar hoekom donkerte? Waarom donkerte? Wat is die doel daarvan? Want Johannes 1 vers 1, hoofstuk 1 vers 15 sê dat God is lig. Waar God is daar lig. Ek bedoel, wat is die eerste ding wat hy geskape het? Genesis 1 vers 3. En God het gesê, laat daar lig wees, en daar was lig. In vers 4 sê hy, en God het die lig en die donker geskei. Jy kan dit nie meng nie, het hoort nie by mekaar nie. Dit was God met die skepping, dis wat hy wou gehad het. Die feit dat dit donker was, beteken, God het hom onttrek. God het hom onttrek. En is 'n teken van sy woede, ou vertaling, sy toornigheid, oor die sonde wat ek en jy op ons moes gehad het. Dit wat ek en jy in God se oë nie reg ken nie. Ek en jy moes dit alleen gedra het. As ek en jy wat daar moes gehang het, alleen. Ons is die persone wat dit moes gevat het. Dit bring my by ons tweede ding in hierdie teksvers is God verlatenheid. Wat het hy ervaar en hoe was hierdie verlatenheid vir hom? Nou mooi, Jesus was op aarde. Ek wil, die eerste vernedering is om as 'n God van 'n troon, die skepper af te kom en in 'n menslike gebroke liggaam te wees. En dan ken ons die storie van fisiese en emosionele uitdagings wat hy gehad het, pyn wat hy ervaar het. Maar sy Vader was by hom. Hy was nie alleen nie. Hy was 'n volmaakte lam, al die pad wat hy vorentoe gegaan het. En hierdie oomblik toe die Here, God die Vader hom verlaat, sê hy iets in Hebreëus, maar nie in Grieks nie. Hy sê iets in Hebreëus, sodat net 'n paar mense dit verstaan, want hierdie oomblik is tussen hom en sy Vader. Nou is dit vir hom, en dit is nie vir mense nie. En wat sê hy? Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, waarom het U my verlaat? Hoekom? Want nou is hy alleen. Omstanders het dit nie verstaan nie. Nou moes Jesus alleen die houe vat. Nou is hy alleen in pyn. Daar's nie 'n God of 'n Vader by hom nie. Alleen met die pyn. Het jy al so gevoel? Het jy al alleen gevoel in hierdie trein van die lewe, op pad ergens heen, maar jy's alleen? Dit maak seer. Of jy voel, maar waar's die Here as ek hom nodig het? As ek hom nodig het, is hy nie daar nie. Ek is alleen. Ek bid, maar God wil nie opdaag nie. Miskien is hy onder die spore besig om 'n hefboom oor te gooi, sodat ek en jy in ons trein van die lewe veilig by ons eindbestemming kom. Want hy los ons nie alleen nie. Dis die God wat ek dien, dis my Jesus. Hy maak seker dat my trein nie ontspoor nie, maar voort kan gaan met die lewe, want ek's nie alleen nie. As ons na die video kyk, kan sien ons die volgende: daar's mense wat alleen was, daar's mense wat hartseer was, daar's mense wat in slegte verhouding was, daar was mense, iemand wat selfs iets moes gebruik om die skerppunte van die lewe te verdof, want dit maak seer. En dis die lewe. Dis waarmee ek en jy elke dag besig is. En ook in hierdie trein was daar onkunde van 'n brug wat oop is, wat 'n ongeluk kan veroorsaak en hulle lewens neem. Maar hulle weet van niks. Hulle gaan net aan, want die trein gaan vorentoe. En die seun kom, hy trek 'n hefboom en hy gee sy lewe, en hy red hulle van 'n gewisse dood. En dis presies wat gebeur het op Golgotha. Ek en jy is gered van sonde. Sonde wat die einde van ons lewe gaan beteken. Deur die seun van God aan 'n houtkruis. En ek het dit laas Sondag gesê en ek sê dit vandag weer. Daar was niks wat die seun van God op daai kruis vasgehou het nie. Niks. Spykers het hom nie daar gehou nie. Hy kan spreek en 'n legioen engele kan kom en hulle platvee. Hy kan enige oomblik van daai kruis afgeklim het. Maar net uit liefde vir my en vir jou het hy aan 'n houtkruis gehang tot die oomblik Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, tot sy Vader wegstap, tot sy Vader hom verlaat, wat vir hom erg is. Hy kon afgeklim met enige oomblik. En nou kan ons miskien vir mekaar vanoggend sê, maar nou stop alles hierso. Hulle noem dit Goeie Vrydag en ons praat hier van dood. Al waaroor ek praat vanoggend is dood, dood. Maar daar's 'n afwagting. Daar's 'n groot afwagting vir my en jou. Want dit het nie geëindig by Golgotha nie. Want Sondag is die opstanding. Alles is nie verby daarso nie. Die gevaar is miskien verby. En Jesus het gegaan om vir my en vir jou plek gereed te maak. Ek wonder altyd. Die hemel en die aarde is gemaak in 6 dae. En op die 7de dag het God gerus. As ek my somme reg maak, is hy al meer, net so onder die 2000 jaar besig om plek voor te berei. Het jy 'n idee wat wag vir ons? Hy is so lank besig om plek voor te berei. Ek kan nie wag nie. Hoe gaan dit lyk? Hoe perfek gaan dit wees? Maar daar's 'n afwagting, want hy kom weer. En dan is ons so bevoorreg om 'n God te hê wat vir ons iets gee. Hy gee vir ons 'n sakrament. Hy bied vir ons iets aan. Laat daar lig wees. God gee vir ons brood en wyn, sodat ons sy terugkeer kan vier en dit amptelik kan ervaar. En daarom het ons die nagmaal vanoggend. Amen. Kom ons bid saam. Here, ons word klein voor U vanoggend, want daar was 'n houtkruis. Ons besef dat U as God van daardie houtkruis vir ons gesterf het. U is lief vir ons. En U los ons nie vanoggend of ooit alleen nie, want U Gees is met ons. En ons dank U daarvoor, want U is God. Amen.